Hello, Stitchy friends. How's everybody doing? Today is Monday evening, what is today? June 8th, 2026. My name is Andrew. This is my dog Winston, and you are here at the Runner Stitcher. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. This is my channel where I talk mostly about my cross-stitch journey, a little bit about running, and a little bit about life as well, just what I'm sort of going through and wanting to share with you guys. So just thank you very much for being here. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. I know we've had a number of you join recently, and I'm just so excited by that. I'm so happy you're here and hope you enjoy the projects I'm working on. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and spending a little bit of time with Winston and I. We really do appreciate it, and I love sharing this hobby with you. So we are excited to share what I worked on this week. I did want to start just by saying a quick thank you to a few people who took advantage of the Buy Me a Coffee link below. Thank you so much to Carol, Cindy, and Donna. I really, really appreciate your kind gestures, and I did use it to get treats for Winston. I was happy that Trader Joe's has restocked their chicken treats for their just chicken treats that Winston loves so much. So thank you very much for your gift. That went towards Winston's treats this week, and also a coffee on my way to work. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much to the three of you. Next, I want to jump into the designer that I've been sharing patterns from this month, and that is the Blue Flower, Janine. And her patterns are just so much fun. As I shared last week, the animals in her pattern, she just has a great way of designing them for cross stitch, and I love so many of the patterns. So this week, the one I decided to share is called Happy Campers, and I'll put a picture of it up here of what this looks like. But as we sort of get ready or get into the summer season, this piece always speaks to me every single year. I love the scene at the top with the porcupine and the raccoon roasting marshmallows. I think that's super cute. And I also just love the log cabin that's down at the bottom of the piece. It's just wonderful. I also think the border is very unique and interesting, and it just is such a fun piece. So this is Happy Campers by the Blue Flower. Just another example of how well she does animals, but also just a very different style than what we saw last week. So if you're interested in this pattern, I will have a link down below that you can purchase this through Lindy Stitches. So I'll have that link below, and I'll also put a link to the pattern that I had last week in case you're interested in looking at that one as well. But both of those patterns will be linked to Lindy Stitches store down below in the description box here. So check it out if you're interested. It's another wonderful, wonderful pattern. And as you know, last week we had a giveaway. Steph at Lindy Stitches was kind enough to do a giveaway for the pattern last week, and that was the alphabet, the animal alphabet from the Blue Flower. I asked you to use the keyword letter in your comments for me to pick a winner of that pattern, and we had so many responses. I wasn't actually sure if anybody would enjoy that piece or not, but I loved it because of all the animals, and clearly you did as well. So I'm really happy that was a pattern that you were interested in stitching. And I went ahead and drew a winner, and I will put a picture of the comment up here, but the winner is Laura Landry 3713. So congratulations, Laura. You are the winner. The comment said, "Congratulations on reaching 8,000 viewers. How exciting. The letter pattern is so beautiful. What a perfect pattern to stitch for my new grandson." So I hope that you will enjoy stitching this, and it will make a perfect gift for your new grandson. Congratulations, by the way. But Laura Landry, you are the winner of this pattern. So if you could go ahead and send me an email to therunnerstitcher@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me your name and your mailing address, and I will get all of that information that Steph needs over to her, and she will be shipping out the pattern to you directly. So you'll be receiving that from her at Lindy Stitches. But go ahead and send over the information to me so I can pass that all along. And congratulations. And if you weren't a winner of the pattern, like I said before, I will have it linked in the description below. You can check it out on Lindy Stitches' site to purchase that letter alphabet if you would like. All right, and I think that's all sort of the housekeeping things here at the beginning, so let's just jump right into the whips this week. I worked on 4 projects, which again felt like a good cadence. I think I worked on 4 projects last week as well, and roughly about the same number of stitches, just about 2,000 stitches this week. So it seems like maybe that will be, you know, my routine, my schedule, which is good. I'm happy with that, but it's nice to kind of know what I'm getting into each week. So 4 whips for you this week, and I really hope you enjoy what I've got. So the first one I want to share with you is the one I always pull out every week, and that is Saga from Long Dog Samplers. So I'm going to go ahead and show this here. It is this beautiful pattern with all these arches, and each one holds a story inside of them. And yeah, it's so much fun. So I will put a video in here where I was when I started the week. Okay, here's my starting point for Saga for the week. I'm going to be starting up here and bringing down the arch. Hopefully I will maybe get to the pillar over here, although there are a lot of stitches in there. So that's what I'm going to be working on. You will see it now. And I'm really happy to report this week that I was actually able to get the stitches done this week. So I added 770 stitches this week, which included the stitching I was missing from last week. So after I filmed my video on Monday night, I had a little bit of time after editing it, and I sat down and worked on Saga and was able to finish the stitching that I didn't get done on Monday during the day. So that was exciting. So Saga's technically caught up again, which is really great. That puts me at 66.52% on this piece, and here is where I got to. So let's go ahead and show this. So this is Saga. This is stitched on a 36 count vintage country mocha. I'm using the beautiful blue Silks for You PR207, and I'm using 1 strand of silk over 2 linen threads. So this is what the full piece looks like. As I said, I'm on the 4th row of arches. There is still one longer one to go at the bottom, but let's zoom in a little bit and show you where I got to this week. So last time you saw it, I think I had just started, was it this section right in through here? I think I had maybe gotten to that part, and I thought I was going to continue this down. Well, I did carry this arch over, kind of getting to the pillar section right here, but I also really wanted to stitch this beautiful motif. I've really enjoyed stitching that motif each of the times as it goes across here. And once I knew that I was at this location and it was right here, I just had to stitch it. So I put that in, and then I brought sort of the arch down over to here. So that was a lot of fun, and even though it's not really that much to see because I'm still just working on the arch, it was great to get caught up on this piece and be back on track. So next week I will aim to put another 550 stitches into this, and we'll just keep moving forward. I think next week the stitches will probably get me to the bottom of this arch. So the pillar, well, I don't know, maybe the pillar is bigger than I think, but I should get very close to the bottom of this arch and maybe try connecting it on the bottom. But yeah, we'll see. And then of course, once the border of the arch is done, we'll get back into the story. So this is Saga from Long Dog Samplers, and I'm excited to keep working on it. The next piece I have for you is my new start from last week, and that is Little Acorns. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's what this piece is going to look like. It's this beautiful piece from Jacob that has sort of these individual bands that go across, and I'm up here in the very top one in that corner section. So I just love this pattern. I'm so glad I started it finally, and I'm having a great time with it. So I will put a video in here of where I was when I started the week. Okay, here's my starting point for Little Acorns. I probably will just keep continuing over here on this banner and work my way over to the side, so you'll see how far I get now. And this is a piece I worked on for 2 evenings when I got back from work, so there's not much stitchy time in the evening till I come home and make dinner and walk Winston and everything, but I do have usually about an hour and a half ish that I feel like stitching. And for 2 evenings I pulled this out and I added 433 stitches, which puts me at 4.98%. If I had looked at the percentage, I probably would have just pushed to go for 5% this week, but I didn't see that until it was too late. So here is what Little Acorns looks like right now. This is stitched on a 36 count red cedar by Cedar River Linen. This is PR, I believe it's 149. I need to get this one memorized, but I believe it's PR 149. If not, I'll run it across the screen what the actual numbers are. And again, I'm using 1 strand of silk over 2 linen threads. And let's zoom in a little bit and show you where I got to. So the main section I worked on was this part right in through here. I also was able to, I had this in before, so I was able to mirror this down here. I think I'm just missing one little kind of section right here, one little petal of that flower. I believe I worked on some of this as well, but the main section was this right here. So I am really, really enjoying how this is looking on this fabric. I think the color really works. There's even this, the more I stitch with this tan colored silk, the more I see the tan sort of coming through in the fabric as well. There is just a slight hint of this like golden brown color throughout the fabric, even though it looks very kind of red cedar. And I think that really just works with the color of the silk. So I'm very excited to keep going on this, and yeah, it's a fun little start. I have a good amount of stitching in, and it's a nice little corner to get me going. This will be a piece that I keep out for, well, that I keep going for a while because it's such a big piece, but I'm excited to kind of put memories into this again and just stitch it as it's calling to me. So a lot of fun, and I'm so happy to finally have this started and be stitching along with so many of you who already started and are much further than me. But yeah, this is my version of Little Acorns. I do also like, I'm just going to call out a little bit, the back stitching that goes into this section right here. Hopefully you can see that pretty well, but I think it does actually come across really good with the silks. I was a little worried if the silk was going to be too thick for the back stitching, but I think it's going to work. I think it looks pretty good, and I think it still gives it that kind of definition that I'm looking for. So that is Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. Next up, I've got my mystery stitch, and this is a piece that I've decided not to share the title or designer with you, but it's a large full coverage piece that I'm going to be stitching over the next few decades and kind of sharing with you, and you'll be able to kind of guess as I go. So I won't be revealing the full picture of what that looks like. I did reveal last week what the first motif is, so if you're wanting to know what that is, you can check out last week's video, but you probably have a good guess even if you didn't watch last week's video. Since last week, well, I'm going to put a picture up here of where I was when I started the week because I forgot to film the video. I was so excited to film a stitch with you that I just forgot to film my starting point. So that's where I started for the week. And I am happy to say that in total, I was able to add 471 stitches, putting me at 0.59%. So inching close to the 0.6% mark of that first percentage. And I was able to get a lot of progress done after the stitch with me. So the part that I did on the actual stitch with me was very confetti heavy and was slow going. I think I only got 80 stitches maybe in that video. And then once I stopped and started stitching on my own, I got into a much easier section and I was able to really just go. And so I almost added like 350 stitches after that, which is great. So 471 stitches, and I will show you now where I'm at. There will be a lot of parked threads, and that's just how this piece is going to go. But here is what it's looking like so far now. This is stitched, and I keep forgetting to say this, but this is stitched on a 25 count easy grade Lugana, and I'm stitching all the DMC colors, and this is one strand of DMC over the Lugana threads. And the pre-gridded fabric, it is supposed to wash out at the end. So you're supposed to be able to run it under, I forget if it's hot or cold water, but it will make the grid marks go away. So that's what I'm hoping. And so yeah, that's the piece. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit now so you can kind of see the update, but here she is. I think she's looking so good. It's a lot of fun to see her sort of coming together here. I think her grimace really is coming along. You know, when you pull this back, you can just see that sort of her facial expression that she always has. And yeah, I think it's really great. So I was able to work down this diagonal, and I think where I ended on the stitch with me was right here at the bottom of her face. And so what I was able to get into was some of these reds right here, which that is still part of her motif. I'll probably just tell you, but the reds are her gloves. I think some of you have maybe guessed that, but so her gloves are like sort of right in here, and that's where those reds kind of come into play. But then the fun part is this section right through here, we got into these oranges right here, and that is the next motif. That is a new motif. It's not part of her. So we have hit something new, which is exciting. I don't think you'll be able to tell what it is for the next, couple of diagonals, but you'll see it starting to grow, and who knows, maybe you will. But it was a lot of fun to get into those orange colors, and I do think as we get into this section right over here, it looked like there was much more block stitching, which I'm excited for. So I think the next diagonal, there will be some easier sections to go with that. And yeah, really excited to kind of see that next one take place. But again, I think the frame looks great. I think her expression looks great. I think the detail is there, especially when you hold it back. You're going to be able to tell exactly what this is. And I just love that. I think it's going to look so fun in the end. And I really have just been enjoying this. This has been another comfort stitch, and it's been what I want to work on. And I'm so happy that I'm sharing it with you all, and you can guess as I stitch along. So yeah, this is the mystery stitch for this week. The final piece I worked on this week is one that you have not seen in a while. It didn't even come out in Mania, so it has been a long time since I stitched on this. I'm not exactly sure when the last time was, but it's been a while that you have seen it. And the piece I'm talking about now this is Teresa Wentzler, and this is the Egyptian sampler. So here's what this piece is going to look like. I was lucky enough to find a kit on eBay, so it came with the fabric, which I think is a 28 counts even weave, and I think it's in the color like beige maybe, and it came with all the floss, so I'm using all the kit materials and just working through this one. So it was fun to get this back out. The reason this came out is it is my WIPCO goal for the month of June. It's actually both of my WIPCO goals. So it was to put 500 stitches into this piece and then put 500 more stitches into this same piece. That was what my board called for, which my Patreon members know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm happy to say that so far I've been able to complete the first WIPCO goal. So I will put a little video in here of where I was when I started the week. Here's my starting point for Teresa Wentzler, Egyptian sampler. I don't know where I'll work or what you'll see, but I will work on it. So here it is now. And in total for the week, I was able to add in 517 stitches. Since I'm using the paper pattern, I don't have a percentage of where that gets me, and it's really hard to gauge a percentage of a Teresa Wentzler anyway, because there's so much back stitching and beads and specialty stitches that it's really kind of hard to count. But this was really fun to get back out this week, and I'm happy to share where I got to. So here is what this looks like now. Of course, I'm using all the kit material, like I said, and I am still on the very top border here, which doesn't look like much, but this is a lot of stitching, and it's a lot of time dedication because there are so many blends in here. I think most of the stitches that you see are a blend of two colors, and so it just takes more time to get that blend ready. And then you're only stitching a few stitches of that color, and then you have to move to the next thing. So it's a very slow process, but I did really enjoy it this week. And I'll zoom in here a little bit closer so you can see. But what I was able to get done were these flowers right here along the border. So all of the stitching and the back stitching is done on those flowers. There are, I think, 9 of them across that top section here. And again, I think they look really, really great. I'm happy to have those completed. So then this top sort of border right here will go underneath the flowers. That goes all the way across. That's probably this section I'll work on next. I could also jump into this corner section, which will mirror this one here. I really did enjoy stitching this, so I think it'll be fun to see that kind of come to life over there. Or yeah, I did start a little bit. I had a little bit left over in my thread, and so I kind of counted down. Hopefully all of that counting is correct, but I counted down here the side, and this will be the border that kind of goes down the side. So it is a repeating border all the way around, so I've got a lot more of these flowers to do, but it felt really good to sort of get that kind of completed over the course of this week. And that was about 500 stitches. So there also is right in through here, I think there's another Smyrna cross that goes in between each flower. So I could work on that. And then there's also some beads that go in at the top between each flower. So there's a lot of potential of where I could go now on this piece since the border is like getting on its way. But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So I think that I will try to pull this out again this week to do the other 500 stitches. We'll see. I'm just kind of letting myself dictate what I want to stitch on. And if that's this piece for my second WIPCO goal, then great. But I am happy to have completed at least one of the goals this month already. And yeah, we'll keep working through it. So that's what this looks like. Again, I'll just do a little close up here so you can see kind of the specialty stitches that are in place. We've got these in the 4 corners here. These are like satin stitches. And then we've got this eyelet in the center here. And yeah, this is what the piece is looking like so far. I really do like these colors too. The more it's kind of showing on the fabric, I'm really enjoying it. And I think I did a pretty good job centering it. That's the complete width of the piece. So yeah, I think we're good to go. But that is Teresa Wentzler's Egyptian Sampler. And like I said, that's all the stitching for the week. So thank you so much for joining me if that's all you wanted to see. But I really enjoyed my stitching this week when I had time, and it all sort of worked out and felt really good to work on those projects. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. As far as plans go, I don't really have any. The only real plan I have is to stitch on Saga each week, and that is to get the 550 stitches in for that piece. And of course I do want to work on my mystery stitch piece as well. I've been trying to film a stitch with me each week to bring you along the ride for that piece. And so that's kind of another goal. But beyond those two goals, you know, I have Whipco kind of in the background. I've got my new start I could work on. I've got some other older projects calling my name. It's June, so it's Strawberry Moonsal month, and I do want to get back to Strawberries Forever and at least work on that a little bit, so maybe that will be calling my name this week. But I'm really just going to let myself kind of choose what I want to be stitching and not sort of be tied down to, not tied down, but the plans that I had before, you know, I'm just going to open it up and just stitch what I want, because at the end of the day, stitching has been so sort of therapeutic for me and almost meditative at the end of the day of working. And I really just want to be enjoying whatever project I'm working on. So that's sort of plans in a nutshell. Next, I did want to share a little bit of stitchy kindness that I received in the mail this week from my stitching friend, Pauline. Thank you so much for sending these and thinking of me. I really do appreciate it. She was very kind to send me this pattern from Needle Lot Designs, which I actually highlighted on my channel not too long ago. And this was one of the patterns that I really love from Needle Lot Designs. So she was so kind to gift this to me. I really appreciate it. And not only did she do that, but she found sort of a matching needle minder to go with it. Here's what this looks like. Hopefully it will focus here. Is it going to focus? There we go. It's super cute, but it's this crow and pumpkin that goes so well with the piece. And so I'm really grateful to have that as well. And then she threw in an additional chart that she had purchased 2 of, and this is one that I really do want to stitch. And this is from Autumn Lane. It's called Tonight We Ride. I've seen a number of people stitch this piece. All of that orange is not stitched. That's the fabric in the background. And I don't know, this one always calls to me. I think it's just really a fun Halloween piece. And so I'm really, really happy to have this in my collection, and someday I will get this started. So Pauline, thank you very much for this stitchy kindness. I really do appreciate it. All right, and if you've made it this far in the video, it is now time to celebrate 8,000 subscribers on this channel. I still cannot believe it, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that are here and are willing to sort of listen to me talk about this hobby that I love and share what I'm working on and interact with me in the comments. It really just means so much, and you all have gotten me through, I said this before, but you all have gotten me through a really tough time in my life, and I don't know where I would be without this channel, without this community, and without this connection I have with you. And I'm just so grateful and honored that the channel just continues to grow and reach new people. But I want to celebrate 8,000 subscribers with you. So I have a number of giveaways to do today. There are 8 giveaways and then one sort of bigger giveaway at the end. So let's just jump right into them to start out. The first 2 sets of giveaways will be for US only, and that's because these are actual physical items that I'll be mailing out, and it just is going to be easier to mail these in the US. So these first batches will be US only. Then I do have 2 patterns that will be worldwide. I'll be able to ship those wherever we go. And then the final prize at the end, that also is going to be US only. So let's just get started. So the first items that I want to give away is these were given to me from a friend on my Patreon channel, and she blessed me with so many of them, and she knows that I love using these for full coverage. I've shown them on my channel a number of times. I'm really, really loving using them for the mystery stitch. And so I would like to give these away on my channel now. There are 4 of these. So I will draw 4 winners for, each of you will get 1 of these. But these are the floss cards that I use for full coverage to kit them up. What I love about these is they have a spot for you to sort of hang your floss on here, kind of like a floss drop. And then you pull the threads in between these sort of foam sections right here. And it allows you to pull just one strand of the thread without it getting really bunched up and tangled up, because it pulls it through the foam and kind of straightens it out as it comes. And then it also has a spot in the center here that you can thread a needle and just put the needle in here. So you are just ready to go with the needle. So these floss cards I absolutely love for my full coverage pieces, and I think some of you do as well. So there are 4 of these that I would like to give away. There's 1 green, we have 2 purple, and then we also have a blue here. So if you're interested in winning one of these, use the word card, C-A-R-D. And again, you're only eligible to win one of these, but you can enter the word card for a chance to win one of these 4. Again, standard giveaway rules apply. Please be 18 years of age or older, as I will have to ask your mailing address. Please be subscribed to the channel, and please don't use any of the buzzwords like giveaway or free. We don't want to attract the bots, but I thought this would be really fun to do a giveaway for these cards that I've been using and loving so much. The second batch is 2 Q-snaps. Another friend was so kind to gift these to me, and I have a lot in my stash now, and I would like to pass these along. So these are 8x8 Q-snaps, and these are the perfect size if you're working on a smaller project. Q-snaps are what I love using if I'm going to put them in something. I would rather have a Q-snap than a nerd hoop, but these are 8x8 Q-snaps, so I'm going to be giving away 1 each, so 2 of these, 2 winners. And use the keyword white, W-H-I-T-E. So use the keyword white if you'd be interested in winning one of these. Again, those first 2 batches are US only. Now let's get into the patterns that I have for the giveaway. So the first pattern I would like to give away is from Cooler Classic Designs. This is called Victorian Charmer, and it is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Victorian house. This looks like so much fun to stitch, and I wish I had the time. I wish I had the time to stitch it all, but I don't. So I would like to do a giveaway for this. If you are interested in this pattern, it is a paper pattern, use the word house, H-O-U-S-E. And this one I will ship anywhere. Since it's just a paper pattern, I can send that in the mail, no problem. So use the word house, H-O-U-S-E, if you're interested in this beautiful Victorian house pattern. And the final pattern I want to give away is from Black Swan. This is called View to a Spring Garden. And I have had this in my stash for a while, and I just think it's so lovely. I just don't know when I'm going to get around to stitching it. And so I would like to pass it along to someone who would actually like to stitch this piece and see it come together. It's a beautiful sort of banner here, I guess. You could do it as a banner, or this is a framed piece. But it's just a beautiful view of spring. Look at all those lovely colors and the sort of lacy border that goes around it. It looks like there is some specialty stitches in this one, but it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And yeah, I would love to give this away to someone who's interested in stitching it. So if you want to win this pattern, please use the keyword, let's use the word swan, S-W-A-N for Black Swan. So go ahead and use that, and I will draw a winner for this pattern next week. Again, this will go anywhere in the world. Okay, so those are the sort of 8 giveaways I have for 8,000 subscribers. Again, I'm so grateful each and every one of you are here. I can't say thank you enough. And to kind of continue the fun, I do have one more very, very special giveaway. This is from my friend Liz, and she has been kind enough to offer this as a giveaway for 8,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. Liz, thank you for doing that. So this is the 2025, it was last year's Evertote and Modern Folk Embroidery pattern for their Christmas collaboration. I'll put a picture up here of what the piece looks like in the end. It was a piece where you got a skein of Roxy floss each day leading up to their advent calendar, or leading up to Christmas, and use that floss in the pattern. So this is what the pattern looks like fully stitched. That's Liz's version. She did such a great job. I think it looks amazing. And she reached out and said she has the pattern that she would love to give away, and she also has all of her leftover floss, which she thinks is plenty enough to stitch the pattern. So I don't think you'll need to buy any of the Roxy floss. I think it will all be there for you to use. So this is going to come from Liz directly. So if you are going to enter this, you have to be okay with me giving your address to her. She will ship it out directly to you. But it's a wonderful piece, and I'm just so happy to be able to offer it to you for 8,000 subscribers. So if you are interested in that, use the word holiday, H-O-L-I-D-A-Y, holiday, and you'll be entered into winning the pattern and the floss for last year's Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery Advent Calendar piece. And again, that is a very small way that I can say thank you to each and every one of you for being here, but I'm just so happy that you're here and I can do my part to say thank you, and I'm so happy to do these giveaways. Other than that, just a little bit of life chat at the end. The week was really good. Week 2 of work is completed and it went really well. I ended up getting to work remotely on Friday, and I was able to work remotely today as well, which was a nice sort of change of pace. I'll be back in the office tomorrow, but I can almost hardly believe I'm in week 3 of this job already. But it's going really well. I do enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm kind of getting used to everything now that we're a few weeks in. So I can't complain. It's all going really well. As far as running goes, I have had a lot of wonderful running mornings. It is starting to warm up a little bit, but it's still the beautiful temperature in the mornings to be running, and I've just been really enjoying it. I've been getting up early to still go for a run before work, and that sort of helps me start the day. The one morning I ran last week, and I want to share a little video of this with you here, but there were the most adorable goslings, little geese, right along the river, and they were almost like piling up on top of each other. I'll have the video going here, but I don't know if they were playing or if they were digging, but they were kind of like piling up on each other as the parents just kind of watched over them. And I just thought it was such a beautiful moment, and I had to stop my run and actually like take the video and kind of soak it in, because it's one of those moments where I was like, this is just so joyful. I really just love these little goslings. So yeah, running has been going really well. I managed to do a 12-mile run in Central Park this past weekend. Thought I was only going to do 10 and ended up extending it for a few miles, and that felt really good. It was a hot morning, but I really just enjoyed getting out there and the exercise. I think for me, running is another meditative thing, and it gives me time to think and kind of sort through things in my head. And I really am grateful that I still have the time to do these longer runs on the weekend. And my weekday runs have been shorter distances than when I'm training for a marathon, but I'm just really grateful for the ability to be able to run and to get out there and enjoy nature in that way. So I'll keep doing that. And the only other life thing I have to share is, I didn't get a chance to film any other walking videos this week. The week kind of got away from me, and I just didn't have the energy to do it over the weekend. So I do hope to get back to that and add the next video into Whip into Shape. But if you are stitching along on that challenge, you've got some time now to catch up. So keep stitching on that piece, and hopefully we'll keep it going. Because I definitely have other spots that I would love to film. It's just a matter of finding the time, and it'll happen. It'll just we'll just see when it does happen. I can't make any promises at this point. All right, and I think that's all I've got for you this week. So thank you so much again for joining me and spending a little bit of time with me. Winston hopped down off the chair, and he is in his bed sleeping, so I guess he had enough of filming. He's not used to filming in the evenings. But yeah, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you can continue to find the joy in your day, like the goslings in my day. It really makes a difference when we can focus on those things, and yeah, I hope that's true for you as well. So keep running if you're a runner, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.